to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, they close, I'm that shining the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. Hey, I can make time travel a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. I make the moon blue. I'm making pigs fly. Now I move mountains. I would have beaten the heart of a crash test dummy. I'm more so astounded. Yeah. Look up and beam to the...
Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The punter Logan Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Pierce gets this one running right. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Hey, green, flag blue, 43 rail. Get that ball. Ready.
2nd down throw now from Stroud. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stroud here on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Etienne to start the drive. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can...
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce, 28 yards. And the Texans use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Now Lawrence to throw. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Derek Stingley picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he spins past him and into space. Down the left sideline. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 48 yards.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a...
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Mark Ingram with career touchdown number 70. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. And they just powered it in right there, Charles. 3 tight ends out on the field, the fullbacks for the defense. They knew what was coming.
They knew, but they weren't able to stop them. They knew they had to meet them with a little bit of force. But on that play, the big guys up front won the day.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 13-7. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. First and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Pierce now up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
54 Mike.
He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Devin Singletary taking it in from the 20. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long sustain. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Jalen Petrie picks it off. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The hard-hitting safety, Jimmy Ward, picking up the sack that time.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one complete to Hodgins. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. ETN on the toss right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And between the last 2 plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Lawrence. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And the Texans will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Now Stroud. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It got his man complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. That's on Shaq Mason, the guard.
Come on, set. 52 blue. Check. Close, 10.
On the give, this is Singletary. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles. Get that quarterback.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. To drive at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Looking downfield for Jones. That's caught at the 25. And he'll be brought down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Lawrence to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Hey, exit.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
They go play action now. Lawrence. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Come on, D. Mike 40, Mike 40. I got you, son. I got you.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
40's Mike. 40's Mike. Get your swerve on.
Now Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
Check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man. Mike 55. Mike 55. Tackles.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars will take over here just shy of the 30. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
51.
Another tote for Etienne. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 48 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And now here is another interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, and they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense,
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a...
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Tyrod Johnson, 59 yards. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And in a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 16. Lawrence will throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Devin Singletary. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Etienne. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, they gave themselves options there on the third down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
They go play action with Lawrence. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8. Eight.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. Final minute now of the third quarter. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Crunch time, defense.
Fury, yellow.
Mike 55.
Drill, 52.
I got you, punk. Mike 55.
Stroud now on second down. Dancing to his left. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check 55, Mike. I got him. Hey, check Mike. Watch 55.
Go red. Drill green.
Mike 55. You don't want none of that.
As Stroud now to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And my goodness, another interception. William Jackson with a pick. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there, 55 yards. We are through three quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Oluwakin. And the Jags are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 24, Lawrence. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence, and able to find Kirk complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Zay Jones, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the fourth quarter. Singletary to get the drive started. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Going for it with Pierce. Room here to run. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. They go again with Pierce. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Stroud working out of the gun. He's going to look deep down the field. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
49, check striker. 3-3. Black shot.
55 is Mike, guys. 55. Oh, you got deep? Mike 55. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Andre Sisco. He's at the 40, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Shot. 17.
Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Green jack.
Mike.
Ready? Go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Just add on to their big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season through. And now here is another interception. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal.
Black ultra.
Go. Go. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Stroud to throw it. Buying time to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Allen able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Stroud looking to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
Here we go, set, 50, green.
All day. Hey, check Mike.
Set, cut.
3rd and goal, Stroud. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been. And my goodness, another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Texans, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans.